Hello baby gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is a big video for me. This is going to be talking about some changes that are happening on the channel. It's going to be talking about some schedule changes and things like this as well that are going to be, in my view, really exciting and really fun. Some stuff is staying exactly the same, some stuff will be changing, some stuff will be improving in my opinion. But I'm going to talk about all of that today so you can see exactly what's happening on the channel, and I think you guys are going to like it. I think you guys are going to like it in the end. I'm actually very excited for it as well. The first thing is the Hoyo slot, which is the Thursday to Sunday kind of like Genshin and Honkai slot that's staying the same. No worries about that. Nothing is changing there, and you can expect the same type of stuff happening in that time slot. Everything's just staying the same. The Let's Play slot, which is the Monday, Thursday, and Saturday time slot, will be the same time, but will be getting a bit chunkier. And I'm going to explain why it's getting chunkier and why it's getting longer, because I think some people might be like, wait, it's getting longer? You already upload so much. Well, there's going to be a reason why this can be chunkier, and it's all to do with the other time slot, which is the Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday time slot. And that is going to be a more free-flowing time slot now. And it's going to be a time slot where I kind of treat it with a whatever happens in that time slot, whatever fun we have in that time slot is what happens in that time slot. So the way things are going to go is this. In that time slot, which is the Tuesday, Friday, Sunday time slot, we might play a one-off indie horror game in the Tuesday section, the 11 o'clock Irish time, Tuesday section. And then there might be a 20-minute discussion video or like 20 minutes of us going through the Deltarune newsletter on the Friday, and then there might not be a video on the Sunday. We might go through a reaction to a recent news story about games that I want to talk about. For example, I wanted to talk about the Danganronpa 2x2 delay news recently, but I just didn't really have time with all the other stuff we were doing on the channel, so that would leave more time open to do something like this. We can also play through games that would be much shorter, but do it in one video and then leave the other two days open. So for example, on the Sunday, we play through a game like that we already played through, like a full playthrough of Little Nightmares, which you already played through. If you want to check that out, it's on the channel. But games like that are like 2 hours, 3 hours, we play through them, and then the other two time slots are open, which then leaves way more time and more of a freeing time for the rest of the stuff on the channel as well. So it's going to be stuff like, as I said, one-off indie horror games, shorter indie games, and stuff like discussion videos, reaction videos, like reacting to either, you know, stuff that want stuff to do with video games, or like speed runs of games that you already played to see like what would that be like as well. Reading the Deltarune Undertale newsletter, Nintendo Directs, press conferences that companies do as well, stuff like that also. But then also stuff like tier lists, and then also community videos where I ask your guys' opinion on something and we talk about it in the video also. Stuff like that, so it can be just like very much like more free-flowing. That time that's going to just be like, whatever happens will be fun. Mostly I think it's going to be like we're going to be playing like one-off indie games and shorter indie games in like, you know, bursts. And I think it's going to be really fun to do that as well. Like, I'm really excited to get into this. And because that time slot is going to be way more freeing, that means in the other time slot, which is the Monday, Thursday, Saturday Let's Play time slot, we can do a thing where we play the games for longer, which means they will have more of a kind of double time effect. So for example, you might have seen with Claire Obscura that we started recently, I've been able to, with this new thing we're doing, I've been able to record episodes for much longer. Since the other time slots don't have a dedicated Let's Play in those time slots, it means that I can focus more on doing those. And it never was like a thing where I was like rushing through games ever. It was just the thing where we have to like keep a specific schedule because you have to record multiple things. And I was going, okay, I have to end this now because of course I have to record something. That's just how things go. We were taking our time, of course, but it's also a thing where we have to keep a schedule. And we still have to keep a schedule, but it's going to be much different, where just recently, as I was playing the second part of Claire Obscura, which is coming out tomorrow on the channel, I played for like 2 hours and a half because I was like, yeah, I'm not doing a dedicated Let's Play in the other time slots, so there's way more of an open feeling to doing this. For example, if we're playing a Chillazart game, which is usually like a 2-hour game for me, on the Friday on that time slot, the other two time slots can be open, and that means there's more time for the Let's Play. Which then means, and again, there's one thing people are probably thinking about, is like, does that mean like other games are not going to get a chance to be on the channel? Like shorter games like Half-Life and Portal and Inscription? No. That time slot was so good for games like that. Games like No, I'm Not a Human, games like Slay the Princess, games like Inscription, games like Portal, games like Half-Life. We played some amazing games in that time slot. They were so incredible. But games like that will now also be played in like the longer time slot, which is as I said, the Monday, Thursday, Saturday time slot. But because that time slot will have more time, it's actually going to be kind of like I said, this double time effect where if we're playing a game like Inscription, which for me was, I believe, 9 or 10 parts, that will then be a 5-part series, 4 or 5-part series, like, because again, there'll be more time to record each episode. If we're playing a game like Secret of the Mimic, which people were saying like you should try out, there's like very little risk to trying out Secret of the Mimic because again, people told me it's like a 7-hour game, which then in this new format would be like a 2 or 3-part series versus a 7-part series. It just makes sense, and again, it takes away like any kind of like risk as well, where it's like, oh, is this gonna do good or not? It's like, oh, just play it and like just have it there. And it's the same thing, like, you know, when it comes to like taking away the risk from any shorter game, really. Because if we're doing this in between the longer games, and I play a game like, I don't know, Until Then, which I really want to play, but there's also a thought of like, oh, will this do good, or is this going to gel with my audience? You're talking about a game that like people said is like, you know, 18, 19, 20 hours that would usually take me like, you know, maybe like, you know, 20, let's say be generous and say 20 parts. We're talking about now like a 9 or 10 part series, which again is way different from a much longer series. You're talking about the difference in like, you know, months versus like a month and a half. You're talking about cutting down Let's Plays from that are usually 6 months to 3 months. You're talking about Let's Plays that are usually 2 months to 1 month. Like it changes everything, and it changes the timing of everything. And also, again, as I said, reduces risks because, yeah, if I play a shorter game and it's like, okay, people aren't gelling too much with this, it's like, okay, it's going to be finished in a part anyway. And I love the game. I like playing the game. It's up on the channel. People want to see it in the future, they can. And that's just a really, to me, it's a really good way of doing this, giving more time to that time slot as well. I'm actually like very excited about doing that as well. And as I said, it lets me take more risks. Games that I wouldn't usually like, you know, try out that people suggest. I can be like, oh, let's try that out. It's such a rewarding feeling even to think about this. And I think it'll be so fun as well. Now, that doesn't mean the other time slot isn't going to have like games like Inscription or Half-Life or Portal as well, because I think we can definitely treat it like kind of like a fun special event. Like, let's say I play a game that's like a 6-hour game, putting in that time slot for like a week, and then going back to the once a week like indie horror game, or twice a week indie horror game that was like an hour long, or like a discussion video, or I said like a tier list video or something like that, which is much shorter, like 20 minutes, right? You're talking about it feeling kind of like very like fresh and special in that time slot. But then I also think that a lot of like longer, shorter games, which I always like to call like the 9-hour, 10-hour, 12-hour games, will go in the longer time slot and will be finished quicker. We'll still take our time. We'll still take our time in the same way, but they will be finished quicker in that time slot, which means that there's more time to move on to other games. There's more time to get through other games. And there's obviously, as I said, less risk with playing games like that. When it comes to the thing where it's like, are people going to gel with it? It's like, okay, we finished, and as I said, Secret of the Mimic is a perfect example. We finished it in 2 or 3 parts, like, and then it's there. If people like it, they like it. If they don't like it, they don't like it. It's there. And I feel the same way about doing like the one-off indie horror games or the one-off indie games, like the 2-hour indie games. The people always suggest, we're like, oh, this game's like 2 hours, try it out. This game's like 3 hours, try it out. We do that in like one slot in the Tuesday, Friday, or Sunday time slot. Just one-off thing on the Sunday, and then the other 2 time slots are open. It's like, yeah, okay, again, if this doesn't gel with the audience, it's there on the channel. We played it. We don't have to think about it. It's done. Whatever happens to it is what happens to it. And that is like a really freeing and fun way to look at it as well. And again, as I said, if we're doing discussion videos or doing tier list videos, there's also time to do that too, where it's like, if the Deltarune newsletter comes out, I'm not going to be sitting here being like, okay, what do I have to move around to do this? I go, oh, we'll just react to it in the Tuesday time slot. Oh, there's a Nintendo Direct happening. Oh, when am I going to watch this? We have open time slots. Put it there, you know? We finish a game and people are like, you should check out the speedrun for this game. It's crazy. Okay, let's do it in that time slot. Let's watch a speedrun of this game we just Let's Played. Like, that to me sounds so exciting. And then if there's weeks where like, oh, I need extra time this week, it's like, yeah, we don't have to worry. It's not like we're putting pressure on like, oh, I have to have something in those time slots. I have to. It's like we have more time to do other stuff. I know this can like seem like in a way that I'm saying that the channel was kind of like broken beforehand. I like to say it's like more like an air fryer, where like before I had an air fryer, I was like, my food tastes good. You know what I mean? I love the food. But it's like now that I have an air fryer, it's like, oh man, this is so convenient. I can't believe I didn't have an air fryer in the first place. And that's kind of the way I look at it, is like, this is kind of going to be like an air fryer where like everything is going to now make a lot more sense. to summarize exactly what I want to do with the channel going forward, as I said, the Hoyo slot's staying the same. The Let's Play slot is going to be longer and chunkier with like more double time feeling where like we're getting through more games while still taking our time, and there'll be less risk in that time slot as well. And that's because in the Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday time slot that is usually there as well, we will be making that a more free-flowing, whatever happens, whatever fun we can have. Oh, I found an indie game that I want to play in this time slot. Let's do it. It's a 2-hour indie game. Let's just play it. Oh, there's something I want to discuss. Let's do that this week. It's kind of like something fun like that where we can actually like just have fun with that time slot and not even like think about having to fill it. Because again, sometimes it can be like a thing where it's like, oh, what am I going to play? What am I going to play? And we played some amazing games on that time slot. So that's what I'm saying. I don't want to get rid of like shorter, longer games like Portal, like Inscription, like Half-Life. They're still going to be played, but it's going to be just in a different way. And I think also as well, it's probably going to be like easier to follow for some people too, where it's like, there's not as much, but there's still stuff that people, and there's still variety of the stuff that people can follow as well. I'm actually really excited for doing this. And I've already felt the excitement, by the way, because just recently on Friday, I recorded a Claire Obscure video. And because I had nothing planned for the time slot except for this video on a Sunday, which is, again, is a shorter video, I was like, oh, let's just keep playing. You know? And again, it's not like it was ever a bad thing, because again, you have to keep a schedule. Channels have schedules. Like when I got to the hour 20 point, I had to be like, okay, let's kind of stop it here. It's like, no, I got to 2 hours and I was like, let's just wrap this part up. You know what I mean? Let's just wrap it up. And it felt very like freeing and nice too. It's one of those things where like, yeah, we played through like, say, Your Turn to Die, and we had longer episodes and I had such a great time with that. It's not saying that like any of those playthroughs are broken. It's just saying that like, you know, oh, this is cool that we have more time and the schedule has changed where it's like more freeing and more free flowing and allows more space. The thing is, it will feel like maybe sparse sometimes, but I think that like, you know, there's actually going to be, in my view, more value for the like videos, if that makes sense, where instead of having like 3 extra videos a week of like, okay, we're playing this game, like say, I'll use Inscription as an example, which was an amazing playthrough. I love playing that. Instead of Inscription on Tuesday, Friday, Sunday, like it'd be one of those things where like that would go into the longer slot, and it would be an Inscription video where like we'd be playing that game and probably finish it in 3 parts, 3 or 4 parts, not even, you know. And then you look at the other time slot where it's like, okay, like we're gonna finish like an indie game that I've been wanting to play, or like some shorter game in such a short amount of time. And I use examples like even like stuff like Uncharted for that, or for the longer Let's Play time slot. It's like playing Uncharted, which is like a 9-hour game, where you're talking about like us going through that in like 4 or 5 parts, when before it would have been like 10 or 12. And I think it's such a nice feeling. It's such a nice feeling. Hope you guys get the feeling too what I'm talking about here. If you guys want to see videos early, because any video that will be coming out in that time slot still will be up on the YouTube members and Patreon early. And all videos now, every single video, and this is so I can say every single video on my channel will be up early. And that's not just the, because usually I used to say the Tuesday video wasn't going to be early, sometimes every 2 weeks because of Rome Reacts, but now it's like when Rome Reacts happens, we can just leave that time slot open. That just makes sense, because we're already uploading a 9-hour video that day. So again, every single video on the channel will be early on YouTube members or on Patreon, and you can check that out for €1 at the lowest tier, or whatever's in your currency as well, and you can check that out. If you want to see your name go by in the text credits, which is going by right now, that is the €10 tier, the Chunky Baby Gangsta tier, and you get your name in every single video for as long as you're pledged to YouTube members or Patreon. And if you want to hear your name be shouted out at the end of every single video as a verbal shout out, that is the I Can Never Repay the Baby Gangsta tier on YouTube members and Patreon. And I want to say thank you to the patrons first at the highest tier, that being Typharo 2, Jamie Bull, Jana the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Delicious Felix, Yuled, Anusta, Yassassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, High Casperian, Neo Showrites, Leah 200, Malcolm Kunde, Axler 21, at the highest tier of my YouTube members, Blasco, Lusanagi, and Shen. See you guys very soon. Bye-bye.